Hello, I'm going to do something different today. I'm not even going to play you a song. It's crazy. I just thought now that I have the few consistent listeners that I do have and other people checking out my page and, as we're starting to, gig season is coming back up, I thought I would just kind of hop on here and do an introduction um, as a musician, just so you get to know me, maybe tell you about my journey as a musician. For starters, my name is Ruby Ammons. I'm 23 years old. Yeah, if you see that my arm is saran wrapped, that's because I got a new tattoo today, so don't be disturbed. I have 4 now, hoping to get many more. I guess let's just hop right in. So, my journey began as a wee child in the mountains of East Tennessee. I guess I'm what you could call the alternative. My grandfather was very influential in pushing me as a musician. I think he had that decided before I had even picked up an instrument that I was going to be a musician. He was a phenomenal pianist, and he really could do any instrument. He just picked it up. He didn't know an ounce of sheet music, but he just had that ear. He played like honky tonk piano, which I never got into, but I think is really cool. Anyways, so he pushed me towards piano right off the bat, which makes sense. And I learned the basics from playing with him. And then I started lessons in like first grade, and then I hated lessons, and I still to this day really have an aversion towards theory and like just really structured music. It's just I don't click with it. You start throwing numbers in there, I'm done. I didn't even learn that like you were supposed to count until like late high school. Had no idea any of that was like a thing, which is terrible. I do like obviously you need theory, so I'm not saying that. I think the best players are the ones that have a lot of that theory knowledge and a lot of just natural ability to play by ear. That's like your magical combo, but I am not that. Anyway, so I quit lessons, but I kept playing. I pursued like learning classical piano, so I do play classical piano, not as often as I used to. And then I got into praise band at church and in school, and that's how I learned to play. And that was the first time I played with other people, and I was just the pianist, and that's how I learned chord charts. So I never was able to do sheet music or anything like that, but I was taught chord charts, and so that helped me later with guitar. So I played all through middle school and high school as the pianist in praise bands, and then in late high school, I was showing an interest in guitar, but I did feel like it was very difficult and a tricky transition from piano to guitar. Just the hand motions are very different muscles that are used. And so I switched to from piano to ukulele. I don't even know that I know how to play ukulele anymore because I like started that and it was a nice transition in between the two. But then it like I don't know what year that was. It was probably around 2016, and all of a sudden ukuleles got like super popular. There was like a craze, and I was like, I don't want to be basic, I guess. So I stopped playing ukulele and I picked up guitar. On my dad's classical guitar from 1987. I still have it. I still have it. Like I play it in a lot of these videos. So that's really cool that it's like been passed down. So that's how I learned to play guitar. And then, like I said, that brief piano lesson was the only musical lesson I ever took. And so I was self-taught in guitar, just learning, memorizing chords, trying to relearn how to hold my hands, and then just using that knowledge of the chord chart to apply it. And then I met Chloe in senior year. Like I had a spinal fusion surgery my junior year of high school for severe scoliosis. My sister had it as well. It's hereditary. Anyways, so after I healed, like I met Chloe beforehand, and then like she ghosted me during that surgery. God bless her. And then like after I had recovered, she was like, "Hey, let's start a band." And I was like, "Absolutely not," because back then, from the beginning and currently, I have horrid, I mean horrible stage fright. It's like gut wrench all week long before we even have to play. So it's never gone away. I've been playing in public for years now, and it has never gone away. Awesome. I don't think I've accepted that it won't go away. Anyway, so we started playing together, and then her brother was also a musician, and they had a good friend that was a guitarist, a lead guitarist, Jed. He's amazing. Anyways, they're all great musicians, and they all are still pursuing music, which is really cool. And this was around 2017, 2018. And so we formed a 4-piece band. It was called the Breakup Table, which felt like foreshadowing. Anyways, I I dated her brother, who is the bassist, and we did play like a lot of garage band type basement gigs. We played at the Tennessee Valley Fair. We won the Sevier County Fair, if that means anything. We played on the news. That was cool. And competed in a couple different things. I hated competitions. I no longer do competitions. They make me too nervous. It ain't worth it. It's not. Anyways, and then also at that time, Chloe and I started busking downtown, and so we did that for a while as too. Well, which I think was really good, a good experience as a musician to be a street performer for a year or two. Um, but once again, just people make me nervous. So like people coming up to talk to us and stuff like that, and just like playing with all these. I don't. It made me nervous, but we did that for a while, which I do think was beneficial. And then I broke up with her brother, and so sorry, Caleb. Um, the band dismembered. And so that was that. Anyways, so Chloe and I still stay good friends. Thank God for that. And she wanted to continue to pursue music, just the two of us. So we started out on that road as Ruby and Chloe, and we soon picked up a Friday night gig at a place called the Burgers. We still play that gig. It's been about five years or more, and we still play that gig. So that's just it's great. But we started just the two of us, like so janky, like cheap equipment, like horrible amps that weighed like 60 pounds each. And like we used to have to tape a microphone to a broomstick. Like it was grungy, it was janky stuff. But that's how we started out. We did that for a while, and then I finally saved up money to get better equipment for gigs. And then as she moved on into college and stuff and wasn't as available, I've recruited a couple more people to play with me, just kind of on a rotating whoever's available that day kind of deal. I started playing with somebody that I met. He used to be basically one of my teachers in high school. Actually, he was the leader of the praise band, so I knew him from there. And I was just kind of like, "Hey, been a while. Would you be interested in playing with me secular music?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he's an incredible, like he plays a little bit of like I feel like the best musicians do play multiple instruments. That's just kind of part of it. He does play a little bit of everything, but primarily he's a lead guitarist, and he's phenomenal. He is that combination of theory and playing by ear that is just like perfect. Like I can play literally anything, and I don't have to tell him anything. I don't have to tell him what chords I'm playing, what key we're in. He just gets it and he runs with it, which is exactly what I needed because we have about 60 songs, and that's a lot to learn. And so he just kind of stepped in and took it. So then we played together more than I was playing with Chloe. And then since Chloe was out of town at that time, like then I roped in Lauren to play cajon in her place. And so then it just kind of became like there's four people now, like, but we're not playing. We're only playing two people at a time. But like, what is this? So we named it Ruby and the Fill-ins, and that's still what we go by because it's literally just whoever can play that day filling in. So we're still rocking that name, and we're gearing up for the next season. I'm hoping to start literally anytime soon. I've been practicing. I've been making everybody practice. So there's that. Um, and then I recently really started writing a lot of music, but I've always written, like since I started playing guitar, I started writing, but only recently I feel like I've really buckled down with it. I'd say my biggest musical influences are Courtney Barnett, Sloth Rust, Lady Lamb, female musicians kind of in that indie rock scene. I've really gravitated toward indie music in various forms and surf punk. I've been trying to implement some more of that. It's only been a recent thing that I've been able to kind of get this lower, raspy voice, that kind of growl almost. And so I'm really trying to explore that because I've always enjoyed rock and metal music and punk music, but I just never felt like I had the voice for it. I didn't even start singing until I was almost graduated from high school because I just didn't feel like my voice was good enough. And so, and I feel like looking back, I definitely had trouble staying on key, and my range was a lot smaller than it is now. And I think that's just from playing so much practice, playing gigs and stuff, that my range has widened, and that growl has just kind of come out of nowhere. Just one day, I was able to do it, and then I've just been kind of learning. It is a very recent thing, but I feel like that has opened doors for my music. Obviously, my ultimate goal is to I've written well over 50 songs. My goal is to pick which ones I feel like are worthy of recording, and record them with a full band and get them put out on Spotify and Apple Music or whatever. But in case you didn't know, like that's extremely expensive and time consuming. And I work and I also run different side hustles, and it's just a lot. And my computer is like 20 years old, like, and I literally only have it to use Word. Um, it is not capable of anything else. So, and I'm really bad with technology. I can't produce. There's no way. And so, and I can't pay anybody to produce. So that's just not possible right now. But it does feel like this dark cloud that looms over me constantly because I'm afraid that I will die and all of my work will be left to nothing and it will never have reached its potential. And so that does stress me out like all of the time. Where that's where SoundCloud comes in, because at least I feel like those recordings. Please go check them out. They're better than what's on YouTube, I think, and I think you get a better idea of my vision, like what's in my head of how this should sound. Because there are videos where I'm playing with other people, so you get a better idea of where I want the song to go. They're very rough, but I still feel like it gives you the best idea of what I'm thinking. Versus YouTube is just me most of the time. Which at least my stuff is on here and it's on there. So it makes me feel a little bit better having it out in the world in some capacity. But obviously, I want it to reach its full potential. My goal isn't to get it rich and famous and all that stuff. I just want my stuff recorded how I want it and put out. And what happens after that, who knows? But that's my goal. Um, and like I said, we still play gigs. I enjoy playing gigs. They make me nervous every week, consistently. Doesn't matter. Same venue. 5 years. Same people. Doesn't matter. So nervous. I don't talk at all. Like I'm the front man. Doesn't matter. Like I literally have all our information on a sign so that I don't have to talk. And I do not talk. I don't introduce us. We just start playing. I know that's ridiculous. It's like the number one critique that I get. Don't care. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So yeah, let me see if there's anything else that's relevant information. Like I said, I'd never talk on here. I just feel like it's not. I just feel like people weren't interested, and maybe there's only two of you, Chip, that are interested in this. But I enjoy getting to know musicians and seeing their backstory. I think it's important. So whatever, it's on here. I'm introducing myself. Um, I also my degree. I went to a local community college. Only did the 2 years and got out of there. My degree is actually in studio art, and so once again, I'll link all my stuff below. But I do commission work, and I sell prints of my stuff. I also do bone cleaning, and I build terrariums and skull mounts and stuff with the bones that I clean. That's a whole other story, but I do sell that stuff on Etsy. I'll link that below if you want to go check it out. Support your local business, small artists, and then I'm the assistant registrar for an online college. So that's my boring desk job. So it doesn't really leave a lot of time for pursuing, recording stuff. Anyways, if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. And like I said, please go check everything out, all our stuff. And yeah, thanks for listening if you listened.